guys, got the olds over here and we're pulling the battery out. Thing's a beast, ain't it? And we're taking her over here to our new old project. When did we buy this truck, Daddy?
We probably had it 4 years, I bet.
Probably. It's been a long time. We definitely had it 3 or so. 3 or 4 years probably. So this is the 70 F100 that y'all have seen in the background of a bunch of videos. And yeah, we've had it for a while. It looks kind of rough sitting in here. The bees have taken over and put sawdust all over it. But this is it. There you go. It's a really cool old truck though. The things that we've done to it, we flipped the rear end, so put the springs below the axle, which lowered the rear end automatically because it was way up in the air. And then we painted it blue and sanded back off. It was already rat rod looking, but at the time I wanted it to be blue. And it's still pretty cool. We may go back and polish it out and make it look shiny on this blue. But it's got some neat look. For the longest time, it wouldn't even rust. So I'm glad it's actually finally rusted some. But the body on this thing's in great shape. Cab corners are awesome. The rockers are awesome. A little bit here in the fender, but nothing too bad, especially not for a rat rod. So it's got the old 302 in it, and this motor's been replaced. This is either a factory replacement or another one they bought from Ford, because this is the Mexican block. So the Mexican block has more nickel in it. It's supposed to be better. It's got the same webbings as a Hypo 289, so it's supposed to be good for building. Who knows if any of that's true, but that's what they say. So pretty good old truck. This thing runs great. It's been a while since we've had it running. We didn't have a battery for it, but we're gonna put a little gas in the carb and see if we can get it to fire off and get this thing inside and start working on it. Show you what we got once we get it in there. All right, go ahead and help close the choke. Yeah, fire it up. This is a great old motor. Really good motor. Look how quiet it is. This is super quiet. This thing's great, this motor. It's amazing how good it is. The exhaust actually sounds pretty good. You can actually hear it in here. It's kind of funny. replaced that match cylinder, then we didn't use it. It's great, this left rear tire is grabbing more than the right. Does this thing got a positive track in it? Pulled her back outside to give her a little bit of a wash off all this crap. All right, guys, there's the truck. We'll give it a little bit of a scrubbing and some water, and it looks a lot better. Kind of see how it's supposed to look now. Yeah. Try to get her back in. Down. Yep. The brake's messing up. Figured out the adjuster on that driver's side front brake was just locking up, dragging it. So we had to get it freed. So I went in there and backed off the adjuster and then was able to pull forward, but it already started to try to lock back up as we were pulling it in. So luckily, this whole front end is going away, this is part of it. Daddy and I actually did the master cylinder and new rubber lines, new the master cylinder, and then brake cylinder, everything. I mean, just crazy. So still had issues with it. So now this is what we're going to. So this is an 06 Crown Vic or Grand Marquis front end, which is a pretty common front end to do on these. So we're going to tear off all the body work, pull the engine out, and this old front end has to be cut out, the rivets and the stuff that's welded on, clean off all that. And essentially this 06 front end slides in. This is a K-member, but it slides back in to the rails and will essentially, for the most part, line itself back up pretty easily. You drill the holes, box it in up there, make it strong, bolt this sucker up, and then it automatically lowers it around 5 inches, gives you coil-over shocks, and huge disc brakes. These disc brakes are really, really big on here. And it gives you rack and pinion steering, everything. I mean, it's a really good way to go, and then you get rid of all these problems. And this truck drives like crap. The suspension on the front's terrible. The steering is terrible. The I-beam suspension is terrible. So when it was new, it was pretty good. Now it's just too old. If you'll notice, the rear end is now lower than the front end. And we decided to keep the original rear end because it is a 9-inch Ford, which is the best you can get, really. So we just lowered it down. Now if we get this front end set down a little bit lower on this front end, it should have a little bit of a rake to it and look pretty dang good. So there it is. We also have some wheels, which will be kind of hard to see because they're under here. But these are the Mustang wheels right there. And these have got kind of oversized tires on them. So it should work on the truck pretty good because the pattern is going to go from the big Ford pattern down to the small Ford pattern. And then we have some spacers that change size in the rear. So there we go. Hopefully this will go well. We're going to do update videos as things goes along. Daddy's retired now, so he's going to be working on this thing a lot. Pulling stuff off, cutting stuff out. So we'll try to do as many updates as we can. But this is the new project, the new old project we're finally working on. So it's going to be cool.